Alright, welcome back, folks. It is day 171 with Duolingo Japanese. Konnichiwa. Minasan yokoso. Still haven't gotten back into the rhythm of inserting Shashinko yet. Tomorrow is probably the day. Catching up. Shifting our schedule a little bit earlier. Little by little. So we started Unit 38 yesterday. Describing your home. We're doing these new routines now. Today is day 2. Today is day 2. So we just got in. Gonna do the kana for all the words while trying to remember what they look like. I kind of remember like half the characters, maybe? Let's go over them. Unit 38. Describe your home. Kind of weird because a lot of it has to do with animals as well. Let's start there. Yeah, Neko. Inu. Ori. We'll combine these as well. We'll use the reads as well. Oh, wait. Just kidding. So there's Nanawa. And Niwa. And Samba. Mado. And the other Niwa, interestingly enough, highlights a little thing, a Duolingoism. The other Niwa. Isu. And Skue. We have the kanji for all of these. And special exception. Iru. Trying to think what the new vocabulary is. The counter is the new vocabulary. Counter. There was a katakana word. Oh. Yeah, maybe that. Sofa. Are there any other counter words? No. Is there a new... No, I think that's it. So, just the counter? Oh. Oh. As well. Oh. Which is kind of a grammar point as well. I think that's it for your unit 38. So we're just going to keep moving here. 37. 37 is routine. Or talk about your day. We'll write our usual set. Start with kaike. And for this unit, kaisha. Oops. Reiji. 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 Furo. Furo. Ugh. So dense. Shinshitsu. Shinshitsu. Daidokoro. Heya. Neru. Okiru. Ooh. Gogo. Goes in. I think that's it for 37 as well. The particle. Particle. The particle. It's the grammar. All right. Good enough. Good enough. Let's get back into it. Let's make sure we covered everything, actually. Oh, that's from yesterday. All right. All right, so kaisha, rei, kuro, neru, shinshitsu, shitsu, daidokuro, gozen, and heya. Fair enough. There's niwa, mado, ko, which has been koneko, koinu, hori, wa counter, so nana wa, niwa, samba, and isu, and tsukue. So we remember all the characters. Today we're responsible for writing them. Let's hop into our lesson quickly. All right. Mado desu.
窓はどこですか？
窓はどこですか？
どこですか？
庭。
窓はそこです。
窓はそこです。We're sticking to very simple, right? Simple things. Too bad. 窓。庭はどこですか？
庭はどこですか？いいえ、ペットはいません。いいえ、ペットはいません。
So, いる right? いません。
庭はあそこです。
庭はあそこです。あそこ。
ペットはいますか？
ペットはいますか？ And they flipped on yard and garden, which is fair enough.
庭
があります。Oh, I've got one extra grammar point. Actually, counting. Counting using no. I need to remember that. It'll come up, I'm pretty sure. We'll see. 窓、庭、学校、6階、and 1月。
学校
学校にいま
い
す。
ます。
おい。窓。台所。庭。京
京
都。
窓、
窓。
会社、
会社。
牛乳、
Oops. I almost said 牛乳。I almost said 牛奶。Let's see.
台
台
所、
所。
寝室、ペットはいません。
ペットはいません。
部屋、
部屋に、oh, this is it. Right? 部屋に、maybe? 部屋に、
窓、
窓が
3
3
つ
つ。3つあ
ありま。
りますす。Oh,
それは、
wait.
それは、
ね。Oh,
わ
庭。Oh, yeah, right. 庭。Wait. Does that? Hold up. This was from the previous unit, so Oh there, Samuel. We'll try this. 部屋には窓が3つあります。Yep, 庭。All forms of 庭。Okay.
庭
Why are you typing 3つ? Okay. 庭はあそこです。
あそです。
Alright.
Get more with Super Dual.
Yes. Get more with Super Duolingo. Got it.
8は
8は Oh, they did 8 as well. Did they?
ねです。
猫です。
何は
Oh, and they also
何は
did nanwa. So, alright. We'll add 8. So, 2は3は7は8は and 9は Or 犬
犬7は
7は
7は
Do I learn Japanese for a specific goal? No, not really. No specific goal in mind.
鳥
鳥
鳥が7羽います。
鳥が7は
7はいます。
鳥が7はいます。猫
犬と猫がいます。
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 If you're talking about like a specific goal, like related to learning Japanese, not really. There's some specific goals involved in learning. And that's usually having something to do with problem solving and critical thinking. So the specific goal, you could say one of the specific goals for learning Japanese is to demonstrate how to problem solve and critically think about things while you're learning. Japanese itself is optional. It's the context. You don't really need to learn Japanese to learn about learning. However, Japanese is a bonus.
Niwa. Hachiwa. Tori. Inu.
Neko. Oh, there, Ivy. Shinshitsu.
寝室
台所、会社、
鳥犬
猫。鳥。窓。犬。蜂。
You will go? Alright. Goodbye.
子犬。
子犬と子猫がいます。
子猫
がいます。
鳥が3羽います。
鳥が3羽います。
会社窓犬
椅子、
子猫
Nice. Japanese is one of your goals, but at the moment I put more effort on your English and French. Nice. What is your common language? Or what's your what common language do you typically use, Samuel? Koinu desu. Oh, there, cat.
子犬。
Koinu desu. Portuguese. Oh, okay. A lot of languages on top of each other. Although English and French together is pretty nice. Kind of English and French feels kind of like Japanese and Chinese together. There are birds. Yeah. Tori ga niwa desu. Niwa imasu.
2羽います。
Rapidly seeing how quickly. Yes, really focused. Simple sentences, so they're kind of quick. Basically, exposure to the kanji.
Sofa.
Okay, sofa. We didn't mess that up. Sofa wa doko desu ka?
はですどでか
English at the moment, you're okay listening, but not so good writing or speaking. I feel like your writing at the moment is pretty conversational. It's pretty nice. You get an opportunity to speak to anyone in English? Isu.
椅子。
Isu. Isu. Okay.
ソファーはどこですか？
ソファーはどこですか？
どこですか？
机。
机。
ソファーはここです。ソファーはここです。
That's what I heard. That's what I'm gonna commit to. 机はどこですか？ 机
はどこですか？
これは私のソファーです。
No, too many at the moment. Not too many at the moment. Oh, okay. Oh, there, Muhammad.
これは私のソファーです。
これは私のソファーです。
ソファーです。
庭、椅子、窓、机、犬。これは私のソファーです。
これの
Oops.
のはわたのソファーです。
机、庭、椅子、鳥、窓。その机はいくらですか？
その机はいくらですか？
I should make a special note as well. いくら Not sure if it's common to write the kana. Just the kana.
窓、
牛乳、
机、
会社、
鳥、
あの椅子はいくらですか？
椅子はいくらですか？
猫、会社、
椅子、
椅子、
台所、牛乳、
椅子が2つあります。
椅子が2つあります。2つ。椅子が2つあります。机が1つあります。Where are you? 机が1つあります。その椅子はいくらですか？その椅子はいくらですか？Alright.
子犬と子猫がいます。
子犬と子猫がいます。
部屋には窓が3つあります。部屋は窓が3つあります。2部屋には窓が3つあります。
どの机ですか？
どの机ですか？
部屋に3つの椅子があります。部屋に
3つの
椅子
があります。
部屋に3つの椅子があります。
部屋に3つの 3つの椅子があります。
子犬です。
子犬です。Oops.
窓はそこです。
窓はそこ
窓は
です。
そこです。窓はそこです。
椅子が一つあります。
椅子が一つあります。椅子。
子猫です。
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 部屋には椅子が3つあります。3つ。
部屋
部屋
に
Oh no. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so they went with the other one again. 部屋に3つの椅子
椅子
が
が
あります。
あります。
It's gone pretty alright. Cat, we just started. Not too bad. We got up earlier today. Did I start learning? That's Chinese. I've been learning Chinese for 67 days. I've been working on Japanese for 171 now. Today's 171. How much is that desk? With this thing, like this way. Learning 171 days of Japanese this way. It's not the only thing I'm doing. However, what you see now is day 171.
その
その机その机はいくらですか？
いくですか？
At the moment, I'm learning Japanese and Chinese. Just Japanese and Chinese. I don't know what CR stands for. Oh, Korean. Oh, they use CR? Oh, that's interesting. No, I have no plans on learning Korean. I'll be doing Spanish after Chinese. Which way are you going? Which way are you going, Duolingo? Can we try 部屋
部屋
には窓が3つあります。Okay. Would have thought it would be Korean. Well, Korean is far removed from the other two, actually. So it's kind of like if you learned French and Spanish, people would expect German as the third one, but German is far removed too from French and Spanish. Kind of like it's kind of funny how that works out, huh? You have like the Trinity macro. No, I mean to the person who said Korean is CR. I thought it would be KR. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Oh, because in Portuguese it's with a C. I see. Well, Samuel is Portuguese, so it's a C. Interesting. Oh. Huh. Portuguese is so based. Yeah, I've heard my fair share of Portuguese. Both from Portugal and from Brazil. Or Brazil. Actually, I was told by a person a Brazilian that they still go with Brazil. Like with a Z. And I'm so used to saying Brazil because of Spanish. That's... You like it more than Spanish? Okay, fair enough. And I'm literally Hispanic and been to my family's country twice already? Oh yeah, that's right. You are Latina. Brazil in Portuguese? Someone else said no. So, I get mixed messages from Brazilian people. No, like, I say Brazil all the time because of Spanish. However, various regions still keep this. So, I guess you're just from the region that uses the S as opposed to the Z. But, apparently that's not always true, which kind of makes sense. Brazil is a big place. I go back and forth. Let's see. 机が一つあります。Yep, you write with S, but the sound is of Z. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about how it's spelled. I'm talking about how it sounds. Yeah, we're writing how it sounds, Samuel, not how it's written in English. All right, so we got 15. Let's see. Koinu. Okay, let's try to iron out our kanji today.
子犬。
子犬。
犬。
子犬。
犬。子犬。
犬。
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 Get more.
Okay, Mado. Okay.
窓。
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 I don't know how to write IPA, so most of the time when I'm writing, one has to clarify that you're trying to write what is being said versus what it's actually spelled.
窓。
I doubt many people who
窓。
speak and write English know the IPA system of phonetics.
窓。
I don't. Although while we're learning other languages, our second and third languages, there's a hyper awareness of how to write pronunciation keys. Interestingly enough.
わ。
Wow. Niwa. Samba. Oh no. They went with Sanwa? Alright.
サンバ。
We'll stay. So there's an error here.
2は
They're clearly saying samba, but you can say
7
sanwa.
は。
2は。
Either or, but the input that they want is
Niwa.
samba. Sanwa.
2は。
2は。
But all their synthetic samples are
Niwa.
samba. And it's both,
2は。
which happens a lot. Most of the counters in the Japanese course is inconsistent. It's not a bug per se. It's a Japanese quirk. It would be a bug because it's marked as wrong as opposed to like accepting both. That would be probably more like a feature thing. How many languages do I speak? I speak 2 languages on a daily basis. Oh. Koneko. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely would be considered a bug because it's not marked as correct for both. And it is written in there. So a lot of counters, they accept both of them. So sanwa or samba. I actually prefer samba. Samba actually sounds a lot better than sanwa.
子犬
And their synthetic voice clearly is saying samba.
子猫
こ、
子犬
I think it's one of those things that
子犬
you'll find it in
Ko-
in counters. All the counters have
子
problems.
犬、
You just gotta remember which one they're after. Neko.
猫
Okay. Oh, neko.
子猫
Oh, neko.
猫
Oops. Ah,
猫
panic. Ah,
猫
子猫、
子猫
oh, neko.
猫
猫
猫子猫
猫、
子猫子猫
So Spanish is next after yes. What other languages do I have interest in? That's it. I think my life is only big enough for those languages. Tori. I'll probably learn Cantonese, but I don't separate Cantonese from Mandarin.
鳥
鳥
Oh, okay. So that's how they go about it. Oh, that actually feels great.
鳥、
I was kind of curious about what the stroke order of Tori
Tori.
is. This actually feels great.
鳥 鳥
Yeah, those are the languages that I know I will be using in my life. So they have to be part of my lifestyle. Otherwise, it's more like a special interest thing. Japanese, Chinese, Japanese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Fujianese, Spanish, and English are the languages that are around my entire life. So, naturally,
鳥
if I were to try to acquire languages, these would be the languages.
鳥
And then the rest of them will be largely hobby, so
鳥
probably won't be actively learning any of the
Tori.
others. Any other related ones. Never know.
Tori.
In graduate school, I got pretty well acquainted with someone who spoke French.
鳥
鳥
But it's not that all that common.
犬、
Koinu. Oh, whoops.
犬
I was stuck on Koinu. I don't know why I typed Ko there.
犬
犬
子犬
So you're more into Asian languages because of the writing system?
犬
Mm,
犬
it's about equal.
犬、
It's about equal. So I have just as much Asian language exposure then as well as what do you call the I guess Roman? Roman. It's about half and half. Probably about the same.
庭
Niwa. I'm used to looking at these characters even before I knew what they were.
庭
Wow.
庭庭
Is what I call it because I'm bad at English. Latin alphabet? Oh yeah.
庭
庭
庭
And then, you know, a splash of Arabic since we use numbers.
庭
At least that's what I
Niwa.
come to be informed about. That the
庭
numbers we use is Arabic.
庭
Not to be confused with the Roman numerals, which we don't use as English peeps. Heckin' Roman numerals throw me for a loop. Wow. Heckin' Roman numerals, though. Nanawa.
7は
Nanawa.
7は
庭
は
3番庭
7は
わ
Eh? I get it through others?
Ma-
Mando. Mando. Mando.
窓
窓
It's going to be weird because I'm not
窓
as incentivized to use Shashinko
Mado.
anymore because Duo is also
窓
really rapidly covering all the same kanji. So I'm trying to think about how I'm going to
窓
do this
窓
at the moment.
窓
They'll probably reinforce each other and we'll probably blast through Shashinko even quicker. Probably. Like, unsure which one to focus on? No. It's more like scheduling. So like how much time it's gonna be varied. The time schedule is gonna be varied. So I'm trying to see how I can fit things in.
こ
There are gonna be like fast days and short days, fast days and short days. And usually that's not quite great for people who want to like interact and stuff. Oh,
子犬
oh.
子猫子子猫
子犬
Yeah.
子犬
子猫
子猫
It's not a big deal to me to some extent, but it can be very jarring to like people who want to interact and expect things and whatnot. I feel like being consistent is very nice for people around me. I don't mind being inconsistent.
鳥
Have you seen the news? The Prime Minister... Okay, I see.
鳥
No, I have not. I'll make a note and read about it later.
鳥
鳥
鳥
Do whatever I think is best? Yeah, what I think is
Tori.
best is kind of overrated.
鳥
鳥
I don't really need to do what I do best.
鳥
If you know what I mean. I do my best when I'm off stream. I do what I think is best when I'm off stream. Oneko.
子猫
子猫
I try to think outside the box
子猫
when I'm doing things in public.
猫
猫
猫
猫
猫
Might be a little bit counterintuitive
Neko.
for
Neko.
some.
猫
猫
子猫
I do want to play a video game. Any reason why? Well, when you do something public, right? When you're doing something public, you're deliberately putting the control into the people who are in the public. So, as a professional, or like as a professional mindset, if you're going to do something public, you must do everything within the context of the interest of the people around you, as opposed to doing something personal. I think this mindset is something that younger people do not understand, per se,
犬
in terms of the space of content creation. If you wanted to do something that you think it's the best, and personally you're like what you want to do, then do it yourself without the reliance of affirmation and confirmation of other people. That would make for a very successful career as a content creator, if you're concerned with yourself and you're not dependent on other people's interest. As a public figure, as someone who is going to do something publicly, it is very, very appropriate to understand what is appropriate and what can be sustainable in the framework of everyone around you, as opposed to, like, for example, the difference between saying do whatever you think is best. That could be someone who rationalized that they can post, they can like cyberbully anyone that attacks them for something on the Twitch platform. That's whatever they think is best. But generally speaking, when you're publicly on someone else's platform, you're doing what they think is best by compromising or meeting halfway what you think is best. So it's a combination of the two. Doing what you think is best in a public space means that anything you do is justifiable, which that leads to a lot of inappropriate things. Like not taking responsibility for unintentionally offending someone
子犬
because you thought that was best, kind of thing. It's not like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider yourself. I do that most of the time. However, my thought here is I'm trying to combine the two.
子犬
犬
子犬
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 犬
Yeah. Personally, I think people who are they know what's best and they constantly do what's best, they tend to work in a space that isn't public, like more proprietary. So like a CEO or a in-house developer or something. Someone who doesn't have to disclose or not pushed to disclose anything. They don't need to be transparent about what they're doing because they're not a public figure, right? So oftentimes, that's probably what I want to give the impression of. I try my best to be the most appropriate towards people who want to spend time, who invest in anything that I do. That is what I'm here for. Otherwise, if I was only concerned about myself, then I would probably disclose that, hey guys, I'm taking a break. I need to do what's best for myself for now, right? So you hear that quite a bit. It's like, hey guys, thank you for all the support. I just need a break, right? Like a month away. That's kind of like the balance between them. Whenever I appear on stream, the whole idea is that whoever is investing in me, I'm returning the generosity, right? Otherwise, I'm being generous with my time. So I'm freely trying to find ways and focus on ways to engage other people, not necessarily engage myself. I have no problems engaging myself once the stream goes off, right? I think that is something that I don't relate to the vast majority of content creators. when they want to see content creation as a professional thing that they want to do, the sooner they are able to sustainably understand that once you become a public figure and you want to do it professionally, you have to compromise a lot of things that are best for you in order to meet the standards and the platform that you're using or the business that you're operating. And then in your personal time and your side projects and your hobbies, right? If you're still treating this as a hobby, I think doing what's best for you definitely still works, right? The mindset here is most of the time I'm doing the best for myself when I don't involve other people. So on stream, I try my best to find as appropriate things as I can, which here's maybe a not so popular response to the whole language learning thing. Japanese is a trending macro language now. Chinese has a lot of users. However, lots of those users do not appear on platforms like this. So I see an opportunity there. And then Spanish is arguably the second de facto common language, like in terms of its statistical outreach. And then English is the number one common language, right? So if you're wondering, that also factored in to my choices. Why Japanese, Chinese, and Spanish? It happens to be coincidentally because the internet is fostered around an Americanized culture. And these languages are those languages that trend. So in a way, it's a combination of not that I'm just Chinese and I like Japanese culture, and I also live in the United States, which have a high percentage of Spanish speakers. It's all of the above. So I don't make decisions weighed only on my personal preferences. I also take into account a lot of other things. Spanish, Chinese is one of the highest stretch of influence on the internet space, and then Japanese is incredibly trendy right now. So naturally, if I picked something else, the opportunities are probably much lower. So like, for example, if I picked what's a course that maybe like Hebrew, if I picked the Hebrew course on Duolingo, that comes with a lot of realistic statistics and professional choices, right? And it also culturally, it has to attract something that is commonly found in Twitch culture. Japanese is one of them. Chinese, not so much. It's more of a balance of combination of things. And then Spanish, by far Spanish. In fact, I encounter Spanish naturally in gaming far more than any other language that I'm currently learning, other than English, right? So they all factor in. I should write this down somewhere, honestly. Maybe we'll do that for the next review. Like, really do a deep dive into how my decision making works on language learning. But generally, it's not a very straightforward answer. I don't think a lot of things that a lot of decisions that I make in life is straightforward. Yeah. So I like the way Japanese language sounds, and Chinese and Spanish. Not because they're comparably sounds better than any other language. So I'm not comparing language. I'm more taking a step back and evaluating a lot more than that. So I don't typically think of things like which language is harder, which language sounds better. So those types of comments I can definitely see from other people. I can definitely see how one would be encouraged to learn a language they sound pleasantly. I do like the way Japanese sounds quite a bit. I think if you were to ask my 18-year-old self, I definitely think that the Japanese language sounds amazing. Nowadays, kind of just the reasons have grown to include lots and lots of other reasons. I like how I like the way that Chinese sounds. Yeah. Nowadays, though, my perspective is a little really wide, like quite big. So not only do I relate to what you're saying, Kat, I typically have even more things to add to it. And that's kind of my whole spiel on being a public figure. I think mostly if there's anything I can offer as a public figure is to calmly embrace whatever people share or take in new things that people share. So whenever someone introduces something new to me, I add that to my perspective. And then ultimately, my perspective grows bigger. So it includes the person I'm talking to, and I hope to share all the other perspectives. So then there will be a mutual sharing of larger perspectives. And the more things grow to someone's perspective, the more they, in my opinion, begin to become more curious, invested in the things they are interested in. Like, for example, when someone comes up, did you know that Chinese language do this and this? And I'm like, I didn't know that. That's amazing. And then I would respond by offering generous insights back. Like, well, did you know? And then suddenly the two people have a greater investment in the thing. And I think that's the goal. Otherwise, if that isn't the goal, then I wouldn't be streaming at all. Because you're trying to gather the input of other people. You're trying to expand your perspective. And then as a public figure, you're trying to expand the people you're interacting with. Because you have become the source of information collecting. And then sharing mutually grows everyone around you. When learning a language is always amazing if you can turn more pleasure to learning. Yeah, understandable. The more you can engage with it. Not even like even plus, in addition to literally learning the language, all the other things that you can talk about and share makes language learning almost effortless, because you just kind of fall into it. And that's kind of what I hope that I can get other people is to be more and more increasingly invested in their choices, especially language learning. Right. We're gonna try to finish these exercises, and then we'll review the kanji right for tomorrow, and then we're gonna swap to Chinese after that. So,
2は
7は okay.
7は
Oh, 7は
2は
It's a little more lax.
は
Wrong pitch accent.
2は3は
7は
7は
That was the wrong direction.
7は
Okay. 鳥
鳥
鳥鳥
Just gotta nerd out.
鳥
Get nerdy.
鳥
I need an emo for get nerdy. Oh,
鳥
you know what?
鳥
鳥
Over the past couple months, I've been brainstorming on how I would refresh
鳥
the emotes and then load them up on 7TV. I got a few good ideas. here and there.
子犬
Inu. Gotta draw them at some point though. Oh. Oh.
子猫
子犬
I got bamboozled.
こ、
こ、
子猫
I wasn't looking.
子犬、
I thought we were still on
子犬
the Inu prompt, but it's the ko. Ko is the prompt. Not Inu. You should add a yap emote in the best and nicest way possible. I'll have to think about it.
猫、
How to go about that symbolism.
猫、
子猫
Yeah, I have drawn
子
everything
猫、
to the current date.
猫、
猫
子猫、
A lot of times,
子猫
I try to use the
Neko.
Inktober stuff.
子
Try to
猫
like do all of that at once.
子猫
So do an Inktober prompt in
猫
which it becomes something used on the
Koneko.
channel.
子猫
So right now I've been brainstorming. I usually background process artwork for the entire year until October comes around, and then I unload all of that
犬
into Inktober as much as I can.
子犬
It's kind of like not having your
子犬、
favorite dessert
子
for an
犬、
entire year
子犬
and then just going
Koinu.
ham all of a sudden
子犬
犬、
犬、
for a month. Or preparing everything for a month. For the 1 month of the year.
サンバ、
Yeah, see, it's clearly saying samba. It's fine. Samba. Okay. Nanawa.
は
Okay.
わ、
サンバ
わ、
わ、
は
には、
7は
It does keep it simple if they stuck with wa.
鳥
Ori.
鳥、鳥、
鳥、
鳥
鳥鳥
鳥
Oh,
鳥
I got the angle incorrectly there.
鳥、
Eh,
犬
I want to see the last two characters, please.
子犬
Just want to see it
Inu.
once.
犬
子犬
犬
犬、子犬、子犬、
猫
Echo. Gotta double check.
猫、 猫、
猫、
猫
子猫
猫
子猫、
子猫
猫子猫
猫
子猫、子猫、
Okay. For a moment there, I thought I saw something weird on the corner of my eye. Weird.
鳥
Oh, it might be the reflection from through the window.
鳥、
鳥、
鳥鳥
鳥、
鳥、
鳥
I guess we have to complete 2 of these before we see these 2. Wa, neko,
猫
wa,
わ
wa, neko,
わ
wa,
き
ki,
鳥
tori,
猫
neko,
花
hana,
わ、わ、
okay,
ね
わ
wa,
き
ki,
花
hana,
犬
inu,
わ
wa,
猫
neko,
猫、
okay,
犬
neko,
猫鳥
tori,
木
ki,
わ
wa,
わ、
海
umi,
わ
wa,
猫
neko,
鳥
tori,
犬
inu. Okay. Alright. Niwa. Koinu.
子犬
Niwa.
Niwa. Koinu.
には子猫7は子犬1万
には、
Okay.
には、
Okay. Koinu.
子犬、
には
Niwa.
に子犬
Koinu.
には
Ah. Never.
800 5000
場所
場所
子犬、
子犬
子犬、
場所700には子犬200
には、
場所
場所
11
11
には
には
子犬
子犬
600
Alright. Stay vigilant.
大きい。
Okay. Really? Oh.
子犬、
And Inu. Fair enough. Fair enough. I see you.
子犬、
Inu. I thought. Oh.
大学
Daigaku. Gaku. Oops. Daigaku.
大好き
Daisuki.
Inu.
Fair enough. Dang.
犬、
It's Inu. Okay. Alright.
子犬大学1日に
What is that there?
犬
Inu.
大
Daisuki.
子犬
大学大学
Okay.
10分楽しい子犬新しい大きい
Sometimes I forget Japanese is a real language. Daisuki is so stereotypical. Anime, I can't. Daisuki?
大
Yeah.
きい
Oki.
子犬
Oinu.
7月
What about kirei? Like drawn out kirei. I watched too many romance animes in my early teens. Yeah, kirei. Kirei is definitely another one too.
7月
Shikatsu.
新しい
Tadashi.
大きい
Oki.
犬
Inu. Daigaku.
子犬
Oinu. Inu. Eh?
2話
Okay. Hatsuka.
20日
Right, Hatsuka. Niwa. Niwa. So many examples, yeah. Even like Daijobu. Yeah. Daijobu. Although Daijobu is a incredibly common phrase internationally in many languages. So yeah. Anone. Anone. Itadakimasu. Yeah. Unfortunately, those are like not anime specific. Yeah. Those are like almost like saying amen at the dinner table. Yeah. What's one that's very anime? The most very anime would be like sugoi. Sugoi na. Or I'm not gonna use this, but it's like shoot or darn or dang it. Like dang it. You can probably imagine what that phrase is. Ohio, like, you know, Ohio. Wakairi. Lots of slice of life romance things. Let's see. Anone is probably something that hasn't come up in Duolingo, but super anime. Anone. Kind of like hey, or getting someone's attention. Anone. Or ano. For sure. Okay. Alright. And kawaii, obviously. And can't get through like one episode without hearing kawaii. Don't know that one, but still funny. You'll I don't know if you still watch anime, Cat. Especially romance or slice of life. They start the sentence with that. So whenever they approach someone, they're gonna say hey, and anone comes up a lot. It's usually at the beginning of a sentence. They can pick it out right away. Let's see. 2日
2日
2日 2分 Okay.
2話
2話 Oh.
20日
No, don't. That's Hatsuka. But I'm kind of curious. Oh, I'll look it up myself later. Hatsuka. 1日.
1日
You stopped watching anime at the age of 15? I see. Interesting. 15.
20日
20日。
には
には。Oh.
には
20日
にはは1日
1
2
20
日
日
20
20日
Get more.
Don't need you ka me need you nichi me or I don't know what they went with there. Okay. Day. Where are you going with this? Inu.
犬
Okay. Day and inu. Interesting choice.
れ
Okay.
海
Sen.
千 5
Go.
犬
Inu.
0
で
Okay.
で
Day.
い
Inu.
0
Day.
0
Okay.
は
Wa.
かい
Kai. Alright.
犬
Inu.
0 6
Roku.
犬
Roku.
犬
Okay.
き
Ki.
7
Nana.
千
Sen.
犬
Inu.
0
レイ
7
Nana.
鳥
Tori.
犬
Inu.
0
De.
8
Hachi. Okay. Alright, we're getting close to these characters. I just want to see it once today.
子犬
Oinu.
犬
Oinu.
子犬
Oinu.
犬
Inu.
先週
Senshu. Alright.
台所
Hi.
ひ
Inu. Okay.
子犬
Okay. Koinu.
犬
犬
Okay. Sure.
台所
Daidokoro.
犬
Inu.
中山
Whoops.
年
Nen.
子犬
Koinu.
Get more.
Yes, yes, yes. Alright. We might be able to get it. No? Ko. Okay. Tori. Ko.
こ
こ
Tori.
海
Umi.
Ko.
Ko.
私
Watashi.
鳥
Tori.
母
Haha.
子
Ko.
Ko.
Okay.
鳥
Ko.
Ko.
僕
Boku.
鳥
Ki.
私
Watashi.
子
鳥
Tori.
Tori.
Okay.
子
Ko.
母
Haha.
花
Hana.
人
Hito.
鳥
Ko.
Ko.
Ko. Alright.
人
Although Kodomo would be child as well.
人
So,
花
Hana.
鳥
Tori.
私
Watashi.
Ko.
Ko. That's more like child as in a modifier child, I imagine. Okie dokie. Alright, maybe we'll get it now. No?
子犬
Alright. Oh, sure. Koinu.
Sakana. 6月
Ko.
子犬
Uh,
今週
Gotta think about it nowadays. A little bit. Just a little bit.
こ
Oh. Oh.
子犬
Inu. Koinu.
子犬
Okay.
子犬 車 人気
Oh. Ninki.
今週
Ko.
Ko.
Alright.
Get
Yes, get more with dual super. Get more with super. Koneko. Nanawa. Nanawa.
7は
Nanawa. Koneko.
子猫
Koneko. Okay. Nanawa. Uh,
毎日7は2は子猫2回
子猫
Okay.
子猫
Okay.
7
7
子猫
子猫
子猫7は12子猫来月
来月来月来月
800
7は
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 今
今
日2は午前
午前
7は子猫
Oops. Okay.
子猫
7は
7は
5000
5000
子猫
子猫
2人
2人
6日
6日7は
卵
卵 What the
2は
2は Alright
3
3は卵
卵
卵
3番
3は
3は
外100
100
卵は6
6
2は
2は
卵
卵 I can kind of see it 7は10回8回10回
卵7は何東
車東車 Sorry 東
卵
Wait 東東卵何
6
6
サンバ
サンバ
右
右
卵
卵
は
卵
サンバ
Oops Come on 子猫子犬
子犬
子猫
犬
犬
子猫。
8日。
8日。昨日。子犬。
子犬
子犬。
子猫。
子
猫。
子犬。
子猫。子犬。1日。8月。犬。
子猫。
猫。子猫。
猫。会計。子猫。は。今夜。
猫。
猫。
子猫。
子猫。Just 猫。
子猫。
猫。
猫。
牛乳。鳥。子猫。猫。毎朝。
Alright. Did I get that? Oh, we finally got it. Okay. Isu. Isu. Maybe
椅子。
椅
isu.
子。
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
椅子。椅子。
椅子
椅子
椅子。椅子。
椅子。
椅子。
No surprises here.
椅子。椅子。
椅子
椅子
椅子。
Yep, there it is. Skue.
机。
Skue.
机。
Skue.
机。
That is one very, very sharp
机
tail.
机
机。
Hmm.
机。
机
机。
机。
Hmm. Kind of looks like a wood table. Like the two radicals put together. Wood. Looks like a wood table. All right. That's where we're gonna stop today. What is this? It's Duolingo Japanese. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go over our stuff, right? Yeah. We have neko, inu. What was tori? Tori. And then we have ko, the modifier, ko. Those are grouped together. So creative. TBH, I've never seen someone do this before. I see. Interesting. There are millions of people who use Duolingo, so I imagine they're kind of sort of doing the same thing to some extent, just not publicly. It's a mixed bag when you're doing it publicly. Let's see. So neko, inu, tori, ko. wa. So these guys are grouped together. And then we have mado. Mado grouped up with isu. Isu and skue. And then this one we can throw in from our chapter. We have nana. Nanawa. 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 And niwa. Niwa. Sanba. Amba. Okay. Technically, also we're given what I imagine is nanwa. Nanwa. And Hachiwa. From this unit. I was gonna look at something. Let's take a look again. I guess I could be a little bit more aggressive with the tail here. It's not as aggressive. I feel like it's a little bit shorter. That's fine. So let's do this. Oh, wait. I totally forgot about Niwa. Right. Okay, so these guys are grouped together, right? Yes, these guys are grouped together. These guys are grouped. I guess this one will be grouped together. These guys are grouped together. So let's try it. From the top. Alright. Oh, yikes. Try that again. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Stop. Yeah, I was kind of trying to make the tail a little bit more prominent. Okay, and we hop right into Niwa. Niwa. Amba. 7 8 何話 Okay. Niwa. Uh-oh. Question mark? The so Model. You're trying to learn Russian. Any tips? Unfortunately, I know very little about Russian, so I have no tips other than perhaps engaging in the language as much as you can, right? Explore as many forms of input as you're able to find, and keep yourself motivated. Enjoy. Why am I drawing a blank on the bottom right hand radical? On Isu. It's not coming to me. Oh. Okay. Those are the ones we're responsible for, so we're gonna do that from the top again. Okay. So, from the top. From the tippy top. Toppity top. Okay. So. I guess technically we don't even need that character. We can just integrate it into... I like the grouping I have right now. We'll keep that grouping. So, neko, inu, ori, and ko. Niwa. 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 Amba. Nanawa. Nanawa. Hachiwa. Oh, that stroke started bending. It's fine. Nanwa. Nanwa. Okay. That stroke is abysmal. Okay. Niwa. Niwa. Mado. Isu. Okay. Tsukue. Alright. And then let's do 37s. 37s. Ugh. Aisha. Too dense. Deiji. Oh my goodness. Band this up a little. Uro. Shinshitsu. Inshitsu. Daidokuro. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. Hey, ya. Neru. Okiru. Yeah, take care. Good luck, Samuel. Good luck with all your languages you're working. I look forward to hearing how it goes. Okiru. Gogo. Gozen. Gozen. I think that's everything. So we're pretty good for tomorrow. Yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad. Kept it to 2 hours with a little slight yappy yap here and there. Pretty nice. I like the schedule. Hello, background character here. Dang, Lotus. Dang. That's a deep cut. Doing your background character. Alright. So, that's a wrap for Japanese today. Not too bad. Oh, I forgot to write the units. I guess this is unit 38. And then unit 37. Huh. You know, I kind of feel like I could switch to a 2-day format, but then I would have to cut out Shashinko. No. We'll stick to 3 days. 3 days will give us 6 days total, right? That's about a week. About a week's time to get the SRS down on these kanji characters. I think that's fine. I changed my schedule for Japanese. Yeah, I changed my schedule for Japanese because now we're really focused on writing kanji. And largely you get more than 10 kanji every unit. So if it takes 3 units, so the first day is kana to refresh all my kana and vocabulary. And then the second day is kanji and third day is kanji, right? Then the unit's gone. And then you carry the previous unit for 3 additional days for the next day. So then that leaves about a week exposing to the same kanji set over and over again. And that's, if we round it up to a week, that is roughly 10 to 15 kanji. It's largely 15 because it includes different reads and different uses. So 15 kanji a week. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot for me. And if I am to bring Shashinko back into the fold, then we're talking about like 25 to 30 kanji a week. Just a little sleepy and bored. Just trying on some clothes I bought. Ooh. What is making you feel anxious? Tired and bit anxious. Coffee primary, yeah. Lotus is Busy working. Okay, all right. So I'm going to take a quick break. What's a take-home message? We yapped a little bit, right, during Japanese. What's a take-home message? Fine. Here's my take-home message for today, right? I think sometimes perspective can be very overwhelming. I understand that. Definitely. So if you get too much perspective, like too much knowledge, but not enough synthesis. So here's my thought about that. So yes, the internet, right? The internet is full of information. All right? We all agree with that, right? Full of information, right? And you can either input only. You can input only, right? You can input only, which, what does that feel like? It makes you very knowledgeable. Knowledgeable, right? So I would say you're well informed. If you're doing input only for all this information. There are symptoms of this in extreme cases. It can create anxiety. It could create anxiety. One can become overwhelmed. Right? And what does that do? Well, oftentimes when you have overwhelm and anxiety, it can lead to nihilism. And nihilism is the what's the point? What's the point feeling, right? I'm obviously abbreviating this. It's way longer, but this is just a close off message, like a ending message. So I'm highlighting one of the trends that I observe quite often. So this is like very, very classical trend that's happening with people who take in a lot of information and they want to become very knowledgeable, informed about a lot of things. When you're focused primarily on input of the information, you will eventually become anxious and overwhelmed because there's a lot of information and you're constantly concerned with all that information, right? So lots of nihilism at some point, right? What happens is you know so much information, but you don't necessarily want to spend the time to contextualize it. What does it mean to you? How do you find meaning in it? And you end up getting, what's the point? As in, why do I want to start Japanese when it's going to take like this person 30 years or the rest of their life to sound native? What's the point? The more you learn and input information only, as in you haven't synthesized it, which we're about to go into. It's my main take-home message today for synthesis. This is prompted by a little yap about I've been asked, I answer this question a lot, like, are you learning Japanese for a specific goal? Or what are your motivations on picking certain things and decision making, right? So when you have a lot of information and you're only focused on inputs, what happens is the stuff is a task to be done. They don't necessarily have meaning yet. It's information you're responsible for. However weighted it is, you're not concerned about it. So you take on so much information that at some point you're like, oh man, this language, it just keeps getting more and more complicated. Like, why do I even bother anymore? I already know English or something. So you default to that. It becomes overwhelming and anxious prone. Whenever you start a day, it's like, oh man, look at all this information I still have to input, right? Now, we take a different route. There's another extreme route. And it also has its pros and cons, and I'll highlight some of it. So now we're talking about synthesis. Technically, I would say it's more like a branch off of input. So let's just jump to the gun, right? So if you take the input and you add synthesis, It's the fancy word that I'm using. When you synthesize this, in other words, perspective. If you integrate this into your perspective, so every time you get more input from the information, you are entering a place to synthesize, right? You gain perspective. What happens is you contextualize the information to yourself, right? And oftentimes that's where it kind of ends for most people. And I would say I would go a step further if you have a chance and contextualize it outwardly. Well, if you know what it means to you, you can contextualize it outwardly. That would be considered a form of expression, right? When you're referring to how do I express what I've already contextualized myself. So I take in information, you take in the information, you synthesize it, and you add it to your perspective. Your perspective starts growing, right? Because you're contextualizing it to yourself. Then the next step would be, how do you express it? How do you contextualize it outward? So what is your perspective and how does it relate to the people around you, right? And that's what we were talking about decision makings. So to me, this is a step in which you become a public/professional, or if you seek to be a professional who is in public space, right? You need to contextualize it outwardly. It's great that you can express yourself, but you also have to go, in my opinion, another context forward. You can stay here, and I talked about this already. You can stay here if you're in a proprietary situation where like you don't disclose anything, it's non-transparent. As in you work behind the scenes, you don't want to be, that's a perfect comfort zone. The idea is this track, you're trying, in my opinion, if you have time to try to like balance this track. There are plenty of information that you can take in that's input only, like trivia, hobbies. It's great to synthesize, like just gain input on a hobby, right? Language learning can start like that. Language learning is great when you are input only. Now, the thing that I want to keep in mind is when anxiety starts building and when you start becoming overwhelmed, pushing it towards synthesizing the perspective can offload some of this anxiety and overwhelming things. So you're basically pushing and channeling towards a perspective. At some point, when you keep taking in more information, like, oh boy, look at this wall of 20,000 kanji that I want to eventually learn or something. Group them together. Shove them into a perspective. It's like, oh, you know what? I'll just learn, there's like 1,000 kanji for all these like different pieces of furniture and food put together. Let's just group them together. What's my perspective on that? Maybe I will just learn the stuff. I'll just learn around my house. That's providing perspective on the vocabulary. You're contextualizing the importance of the vocabulary. So as opposed to focusing on the incredibly overwhelming, like, I'm sure 1,000+ things like in a house alone or something like that. There's probably not 1,000 things in a house. Let's just say like 100 things in a house. You can synthesize that perspective and say, you know what? I'm okay with 20 of the most important things, right? A bed, a couch, a TV. That is synthesizing your input. The input is, here's all the information. Gaining perspective on that helps prevent someone from becoming too anxious and overwhelmed with all the things they don't know or need to know in the future, right? It's to combat that thing. So it's a balance. If you can take in more information, go right ahead. If you're not anxious, if you're not overwhelmed, take in more input. Keep putting in more input because you can handle it. The moment that input is too overwhelming, you take a step back and start synthesizing. Like, at least that's how I go about it. So I'm not in a hurry to take in all of Shoshinko stuff. I'm not in a hurry to keep pushing past, Duolingo is like, oh, Duolingo is going too slow. It's too slow. I'm taking time to synthesize most of the things I'm learning. Like, yes, it does slow you down, but when you take that breath, you're not slowing down because it's a waste of time. As in, you're not spending more time learning the same volume. You're actually spending time creating perspective and meaning from the same volume. So you're actually doing a different process. It's not a process of, oh, if you learned 100 words in 1 week and you suddenly learn 50 words in 1 week, you're doing less work. You're doing 50 words and you're also slowing down to gain perspective on those words, right? Those words become more meaningful over time, as opposed to, oh, I checked off 100 words. Okay, 1 month later, like, you remember 10 of those words because you didn't find any of them important. You didn't slow down to gain perspective and synthesize that information. In my opinion, gaining perspective and synthesizing becomes part of you. So this is usually the case, and I think if you can at least contextualize it to yourself, that's fantastic. My focus when I'm doing this, if I'm ever on stream, my focus is to get at least down here, which is to contextualize it outwardly. So while I'm gaining more input, right, there is more input from strangers that contributes to contextualizing outward. And ultimately, there's one more step after this, which is creation and construction. So is only then, in my opinion, I'm not saying like it has to be in this order and it can get really complicated, but the thought in my head is, if I am able to take input from information and I'm able to synthesize it into my own perspective, contextualize it, and be able to express it outwardly to a context that's outside myself, I will be able to eventually create and construct things that are appropriate between two people or between two groups or two relations. Because you cannot create and construct interpersonally, especially in a language, right, without the ability to contextualize it to yourself and also be able to express it and understand the context outside of yourself. Then you just be speaking for yourself, right? So the long story short here is that when someone asks me, how do I make my decisions? Like, how do I choose a language and what sounds best, what's doing best? Ultimately, if I'm on stream and you're asking me this question, the answer is, it's the best compromise. It's all the information I know so far that I was able to synthesize that best correlates with the people I'm interacting with and myself. So it's never comprehensive because I don't focus on that. The whole comprehensive thing, that's overwhelming, it's anxious. I cope and manage with anxiety and being overwhelmed every day. I have mania from that. So a lifetime of mania and thinking that I should know everything and could know everything have led me to a lifestyle in which at any given opportunity, if I have the time and the energy, right? We got to make sure, if you have energy, this is axiomatic, as in this is a given. If you have energy, start synthesizing, right? If you have a little bit of time, synthesize the information you're taking in. The moment you get this, in my opinion, being overwhelmed and being anxious become quite a lot more manageable. It's not the only thing you can do. It's something that is substantial in providing not becoming so it's pretty devastating in my opinion. I see when you get to this like point, if you get to this point, it can be really tough. And sometimes you can synthesize without knowing the whole information. Knowing all the information doesn't give you a better picture of things, in my opinion. Knowing all the information can blur your perspective. It can make you hyper-focus on things that have no semblance with each other, like how they're connected and whatnot. It can actually do the opposite. So yes, I do have to admit that there's an overrepresentation of trying to know everything before finding meaning in those things, right? So do a little bit of output. I would consider synthesis and perspective a interesting way of viewing an output, which I don't necessarily think language learners see it that way. However, I kind of see it that way. Why do I want to form these sentences? Why am I reading this sentence? Though that is an output too. It's not necessarily just mechanical. Like when someone says, oh yeah, I can pronounce the sentence now in these words. It's like, okay, let's go a little deeper. Now what can you do with them? Right? Is there anything else you can do with them? At least in my opinion. And it will slow you down in terms of like gaining and increasing your vocabulary. In the end, I don't necessarily think that's going to enhance your quality of life with learning than truly synthesizing it, right? And that's the take-home message. Thanks, Creative. You're more than welcome to join the Discord. We have lots of these chats and things all the time when I'm off stream. Discord is my place where I offload lots of these little discussions here and there. And my goal, right, one of my overarching goals is to encourage people to exercise their expression. Maku, interested in a real life sentence. All right, sure. Sure, Lotus, a real life sentence. Are you talking about Japanese? What do you got? What do you got? We'll end it with your real life sentence. Ooh. Okay. Maybe that has something to do with day. Something to do with eating. Something small. About a store, maybe? Inside a store. Eating. More eating. Maybe food inside a store. Something before or on top. Anything else I can pick up? Really? I don't know, something about a store? Maybe like there's a food born, like something about a store and food. Like maybe something bad happened since it's a news report. Something bad happened with food at a store. Oh. Nissan Foods requests retail stores to raise sell prices. Oh, that's where the going up thing is. Okay, so raise sell prices. Risk of violating the Anti-Monopoly Act. Okay. All I got from that sentence was it had something to do with stores. It had something to do with food. Something was rising or on top. And then that's it. Dang. Everything else is crazy. Holy. Nissan Foods requests retails. Okay. Interesting. So retail store. And then sales. Guessing it's to raise prices of that probably. Wow, there's so much I still need to learn to read that. Interesting. Anti-monopoly. Like, where is anti-monopoly at? What the heck? Oh, I get the Nissan thing. Oh, that's cute. How to get Nissan. Nissan foods. Okay, okay. Neat. That's really advanced. Oh, that's Monopoly? Ooh, okay. Interesting. One day. Give it maybe in a year's time. Okie dokie. Oh, that's violates law? Oh, interesting. That's not where I thought it was in the sense. Uh-huh. Background character status. Yes. All right. So that's a wrap. Take home message, right? There you have it. Synthesize. Get to it. In no way do I think this is the way. It says both of these are the same. Yes, because it's Chinese / kanji. Yeah, so Kat, have you ever seen the video by I forgot what's his name, that when you read news or higher complex words, most of the higher, like, really specific words translate really well between Chinese and Japanese. So that includes things like newspaper articles, politics, policy, very, very, like, high, older, like, texts, like literature, like journal articles and stuff. They tend to be incredibly translational between Chinese and Japanese. So if you start reading like newspaper articles, and if you have like a high proficiency in Chinese, you might actually be able to garner the gist of most of the things. And it's very reproducible. So maybe one day we'll leverage both of those things. All right. Anyways, I'm not saying this is the only order, the only way, just something to consider, right? Learning to consider is fantastic. I believe in my hearts of hearts that people take in lots and lots of information. They are so good at taking information nowadays. Maybe unfortunately, a side effect of taking in so much information is that there's no place to slow down, quote unquote, slow down, take a break from that information, that input, you know, like getting blasted by reels and information over and over again, right? To synthesize and internalize that type of information. That does involve actively slowing down, even stepping away from the information source. Like sometimes learning 10 words a day can mean more than learning 30 words a day, because you're spending that extra time doing something else. At least I like to encourage people to do something else. There's no way around it, right? Being anxious and overwhelmed really do be feeling awful when every day you keep thinking that you need to take in more information, like at a rapid rate. So it's probably the take-home message. Take a break, think about the things, internalize the things, synthesize, grab some perspective. Right. All right. I'm gonna get up, take a break. Thanks for hanging out and going along with the Japanese lesson. If you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. And I'm gonna stretch. See you guys, see you Japanese learners next time. Mata ne. Right. And I'll be back with Chinese in a little bit.